All right.
Here we go.
Tell us the history of your business.
Well, my name is Mike Schoedinger, and I am the 6th generation owner of Schoedinger Funeral and Cremation Service, which means my great-great-great-grandpa came here from Germany, and he was a cabinet maker, and he used to make wood things like cabinets and tables and chairs, and when somebody died in town, they would ask him to stop doing that and make a coffin. And so he would make a coffin. Columbus's population was 6,000 people in 1855, which is when he started. So it's about 160 years ago. And over the years, his sons and grandsons and all of his family have been in the business like me now. And I'm in the business with my brother and my cousin.
What separates you from others in your industry?
Well, we have a lot of things we do uniquely at Schoedinger that our competitors don't do. As an example, we have a grief therapy dog. We actually have 3 of them that help people when they're grieving, and dogs are just very comforting and soothing and lower blood pressure and anxiety. We have video tributes that we do for all of our families. We have a share a memory kiosk where you walk up to a camera and push a button and you can share a story, and then all the stories are compiled. We are the only green burial certified funeral home, meaning we do very environmentally friendly funerals. I could go on and on, but that's a good list.
What do you find most rewarding about what you do?
The best thing that we do is help people on a really tough day. And so people come in here, they're mad, they're sad, they're angry, they're worried, they have all these negative emotions. And hopefully when they leave here, we have a business meeting in the last 2 or 3 hours to plan the funeral. I know we've done a good job if instead of shaking our hands when we're done, they give us a hug. And that's what's fulfilling for me.
How is it important to pre-plan a funeral?
I think pre-planning a funeral is very important because it relieves your surviving family members of a lot of stress. It lets them know what your wishes were, because they all come in here and say, I wonder if they want this song or this music or this color casket, and they just worry that they're not doing what their mom or dad would have wanted. So it relieves you of all the stress of what they want. It also allows you to focus your energies on taking care of the other survivors instead of worrying about all the logistics of a funeral. And lastly, if you prepay your funeral, it's a really good idea because it's all paid for. Your family doesn't have to pay for it. And what we do at Schoedinger is if you prepay your funeral today, we lock in the prices. So no matter how much they go up in the future with inflation, you never owe us any more money.
Do you have a memorable funeral you could share with us?
I have lots of memorable funerals. One of my favorites was right here in this building. It was an Ohio State tailgate party funeral where we had hot dogs on the little weenie roaster, we had chocolate Buckeyes, we had Budweiser beer, we had the Ohio State marching band music playing overhead, we had all of our TVs playing the national championship game that we won, and we had the cornhole Ohio State game. All of the furniture was moved out of the funeral home and replaced with folding chairs that you would see at a tailgate party. Everyone was in jeans and Ohio State clothes, and somewhere in the room was a dead person in a casket, but it was more about a party and a tailgate than that, and so it was really fun. My funniest funeral that I ever went to was a lady who was born on April Fool's Day, and all her life she was a practical joker. And so what she did was she planned it, and when you walked into the room where she was in the casket, you stepped on a mat, and when you stepped on the mat, a hand came out of the casket and waved goodbye to everybody. It was on a windshield wiper motor. But it gets better. She also had pre-recorded messages that played when you stepped on the mat, like, it's really cold in here, do I look better dead or alive? Or my favorite, does my butt look fat in this casket? Which was kind of funny. But it gets better. So not only did she have all that, she also had a hidden camera hidden in the flowers that were on the casket to capture the shock and reaction of everybody when they heard her voice saying these funny things. So that was my favorite funeral.
If people would like a consultation, and how does that work?
We do consultations for both pre-planning, and we do them after a death has occurred. It takes about 2 hours, and in a planning meeting, it's really kind of 3 parts. One, we collect a lot of information about the person that we need for a death certificate. So where were they born? What are their parents' names? Things like that. The second thing we do is we collect information to write an obituary. So what all did they do in their life? What did people know about them? Who are their family members that died already? Who are their family members that are still living? What was their favorite charity that you could make donations to? And just who the person was, not just what they did. And then lastly, we plan the funeral. So do you want visitation? Do you want a funeral at church? Do you want a funeral at the funeral home, at the cemetery? What music do you want, or Bible verses or poems? So it's a planning meeting, and we do lots of those.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
This is Reese Peoples reporting for the Hilliard Digital Media Club.